The NATO summit has concluded in the United States, but not without its rather interesting moments. From the US President Joe Biden's very public faux pas to PM Maloney's eye rolls, the summit is dominating social media. But aside from all of these funny moments, as the West and its allies celebrated 75 years of the alliance, NATO has called China out for the first time for supporting Russia in its war against Ukraine. Here is a special report on the key highlight of the NATO summit. Take a look.
It was a summit that the world had its eyes on, but it's in news for reasons that its leaders might not have wanted. As the North Atlantic Treaty Organization on NATO completed 75 years, American President Joe Biden and Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni made headlines. Even before Biden could address the media upon the conclusion of the summit, he made world leaders gathered in Washington wait for him. And Giorgia Meloni was clearly not amused. Her video of an eye roll and checking an imaginary wristwatch is now viral, with netizens saying they relate to her.
She's not qualified to be president, so let's start there.
On the other hand, Biden once again found himself in the middle of multiple gaffes. While interacting with the media, American president called Vice President Kamala Harris as Trump, giving way to online memes on the president.
Picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there.
But aside from these moments, this year's NATO summit would be remembered for one significant statement. For the first time, NATO leaders called China out as a decisive enabler of Russia's war, urging President Xi Jinping to cease political support to Russia. They also said that China is involved in malicious cyber and hybrid activities. The statement marks the first time that European countries have joined the chorus against the dragon. China, meanwhile, has rejected these charges, asking NATO to not create chaos in Asia. However, even as NATO weighed in on the war and reiterated their support for Ukraine, Biden embarrassed himself once again in what could be one of his biggest slip-ups. The US president introduced Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky as President Putin.
Now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. You're going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President,
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
Consolidating its support for Ukraine, United States has announced a new security package worth $225 million, which includes a Patriot missile battery, additional ammunition for high-mobility artillery rocket systems, and missiles. As the West versus the China-Russia bloc conflict moves towards Cold War-like era, how will India tread its path while being the voice of the global South?